What up, what up, what up? It's your girl Free coming at you guys live with another exclusive vlog. I'm in the lovely city of Los Angeles, and I'm so happy to be bringing you guys an interview from...
Ray One, owner of Grind Until You Die, streetwear brand, founder, creative director, graphic designer, graffiti artist. Yeah.
All right, so you're the man behind the brand.
Yes.
All right, okay, good, because we don't always get a lot of brand owners on here, so I'm happy to have you. We've only had Desto Dub on here.
Okay.
And that was maybe when I very first started the channel about 2 years ago. So I do want to branch out to more entrepreneurs and get them on the channel. Let the people know who you are, where you're from, your whole 411.
Born and raised in LA, born in Kaiser Hospital. You know what I mean? People that know, they know. Raised in Jefferson Park area, South Central.
Okay.
To a Belizean family, all Belizean family. Moved from Jefferson Park to the jungles, stayed in the jungles for a bit.
Okay.
And left from the jungles, went to Mid-City, which is like Koreatown area.
Okay.
And then left from Koreatown and moved to Hawthorne, and then came back. I was all around the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you involved in any of the gang culture that LA had to offer, or were you just kind of living there, moving around? Give us the background.
I was living amongst all the hoods. You know what I'm saying? So when I stayed in Jefferson Park area, which was the Avs, the 30s, Jefferson and St. Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That was the epicenter of the 30s at that time. You know what I mean? During the 80s and growing up in the 90s, raised through the 90s and shit. It was real active over there.
Okay.
You feel me? And then moving to the jungles, I went to Hillcrest Elementary, so that shit was right in the epicenter of the jungles right there. It wasn't deep in the jungles, but it was kind of in it, but not on the outskirts, but in it too at the same time. You feel me? And then when I moved to K-Town, Mid-City area, it was the Biddy Stones, and then MS-13, everywhere I went, I was just in a hood every time, you know what I'm saying? Then when I moved to Hawthorne, it was kind of just spread around, so you had tons of hoods going to the school that I went to, you feel me? Samoans and niggas from East Coast, and niggas from Hoover, and it was just people coming from everywhere, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right, so you didn't gangbang though, right?
I didn't.
How were you able to slither through all these places and not get influenced in the gang culture that LA has to offer? Because we know on the vlog, I've done a lot of gang members on here, so we know on the vlog that you guys have a big culture out here of gangs. So how were you able to slither through without gangbanging at all? And if you were slithering through, were there any gangs that you actually did fuck with or have family from or anything? If you want to share some of that, you can tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know. I think my situation was special because, while I was growing up, I never knew, but the things that I did always was associated with creativity. So, growing up around these gang members, they was just nah, we're gonna keep him away. You know what I'm saying? Something I guess special about me, you feel me? They was just that's coolie, you know what I'm saying? Nope. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they respected my family too at the same time. So I always in the earlier stages I stayed away from it, but you know what I mean, growing up, as you grow older and the people you surrounded by, of course some of that shit is gonna rub off on you. You know what I'm saying? So, I got into graffiti, you know what I'm saying? Then tag banging came along with graffiti, and you know what I'm saying? So what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of these niggas that's banging now, they was all taggers.
Right.
You feel me? These niggas was all part of cliques. These niggas was all tagging on walls and writing on walls. It just got to a point where, the hoods that took, the hoods that was in these areas, it was nigga, y'all gonna have to switch sides or y'all gotta get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just kind of got accepted as being the creative nigga that was around everybody making shit. Nobody tried to really press you to be. Now, did you have any family members that were gang members?
For sure.
Okay,
for
where's
sure.
your family from?
All right, so my older cousin, when he was younger, and this is what I heard, I don't know, how true it is, but, what I'm saying, he was from 20s, or was claiming 20s, whatever the case may be, but this was him, like 17, 16, or something like that, back in the 80s. And then, what I'm saying, as he got older, he ended up becoming from Mansfield.
Okay.
Trey's, you know what I'm saying? Because he went to Fairfax. And then the block that my grandmother stayed on was all MVPs, most valuable pimps. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up around like 2 or 3 hoods all simultaneously. From the 30s to the MVPs. Like their hood was all Crip hood in a blood neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So you got the Biddies, which was like the surrounding hood, and then you had this one block full of Crip niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, but I got family from everywhere, man. 20s, 40s, like you name it.
Okay.
Like I got homies from hella hoods. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you're Belizean.
Yeah.
So is most of your family from Belize out here, or
Yeah.
did you give us a little bit of background of what it was like for you growing up. Were you in a single mother household, both parents? What was it like for you? And then after that, tell us what was it like for you growing up as a young child in Los Angeles?
When I was younger, my step pops and my moms, they was together. So it was a 2-parent household, and then they split right after I moved to the jungles. You know what I mean? And it was a pretty cool household. You feel me? My stepfather, he was a keyboardist for a lot of big artists, reggae artists at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's another element of where the creativity came in at. You know what I'm saying? And just real family orientated. You know what I'm saying? Real tight bunch of cousins. Like always with my cousins type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
you did grow up with both parents. Well, both a father figure and a mother, and your mother.
Yeah.
Where was your father?
In Belize. He got deported.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were they together when he got deported?
Nah.
Okay, they were already separate.
I think my father left at an early age. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just Rolling Stone type shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Moving around. Nigga stayed in Chicago, and I think he was living out here and got deported. So.
Oh, so you didn't have a communication or anything?
Nah, I spoke to my pops probably one time.
So when did your stepfather come in to take the reins over?
I would say maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, okay, your mom got with him.
Yeah.
Do you have any other siblings? Did you grow up with any other siblings?
Yeah, I got my older brother, I got a younger brother, and then a sister stayed in Chicago.
Okay.
Like I said, my father stayed in Chicago.
Got you.
So, he had a kid out there, I guess.
So when you were growing up in the home, besides your mom and your step pops, who was there in the home with you guys?
My older brother.
Okay.
My older brother.
And how was that for you growing up with him?
It was dope. You know what I'm saying? Aside from, being bullied here and there.
Yeah.
Like regular, sibling shit.
Right.
You feel me? But, yeah.
So what was it like for you growing up as a young kid in LA? You said you moved a lot. What was that like for you? Were you facing any different trials, tribulations?
Sure.
What were some of the things you were going through as a young kid?
Man, I was actually a rebellious ass kid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't strike me as that type. Yeah, no, you don't.
Man, I was the most mischievous, badass kid. Like, all right, so I'll tell you a quick story. So my grandmother stayed in the MVPs. You feel me? So on our block, it was all my cousins, and then at the end of the block, it was a foster home.
Okay.
So in the foster home, it was a bunch of just badass kids, and we used to always go down there and go fuck with them. I shot my first BB gun fucking with them. You know what I mean? When I was 13, I got my first tattoo when I was 13. You know what I mean? We used to hop the wall and go shoot at, you know what I'm saying, like our rivals.
Right.
Rivals, you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, we was getting into a lot of trouble when we was kids. Like, really terrorizing anywhere in the close proximity.
And who was this that you were doing it with?
These 2 cats named Jonathan and Ivan. On my grandmother's street.
How'd you meet them?
They just lived on the street. The kids come out and play. This is before, the internet era. So it's like, you know what I mean? All we had was the streets.
Did you have anybody else that you grew up with that you knew growing up besides them 2? That was like somebody that you was accustomed to being around all the time?
Yeah, my older cousin.
Okay.
My older cousin. And all his homies and all the gangbangers that stayed on my grandmother's street.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, niggas literally lived on the street. So, we come outside, it'd be like 30 niggas outside.
Okay. And what was the hood in her street again?
MVP.
And that was Most Valuable Pimps?
Yeah, gangsta. Now they Gangsta Crips.
Okay, gotcha.
Gangsters, you got, you know, Marvin gangsters, you got, you know, all
What part of LA is
West
this?
LA Trey Hoods. So you got the block that I stayed on was LaSalle Ave. That was one of their, you know, sections, and then the other section is Orange Drive, which is like La Brea, Washington, La Brea, by the schoolyards.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So now you're a little bit older.
True.
Okay, so are these gangs still prominent? Because I've never heard of that before. Are these still prominent going on today in this day and age?
No.
Or was this
really.
back? This was back in the day. So are they still active in those areas, or that was just back when you were growing up?
More so when I was growing up. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like a lot of those cliques and hoods that was more prominent then. And, you know, a lot of niggas died, a lot of niggas went to jail, a lot of niggas moved out the city. So, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just dispersed.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? More so. And, you know, it's a lot of gentrified cities now. I mean, you know, just areas and shit. So, yeah.
Okay. So what age was that when you started going out to the foster home and you basically that's when you probably would hop off the porch, right? You said you hopped off the porch. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that was shit. That was like 10. You know what I mean?
Okay.
10,
Was anybody trying to call you back to the house? Your grandma?
Hell nah.
Why?
Hell nah,
They didn't know what was going on?
It was just too many of us. You know what I'm saying? It was just too many of us. Like when street lights came on, that was your call to go in the house.
Okay.
Anything, you know, before that, shit.
So you were able to go play and have your fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, now with you are your parents Belizean like immigrants, or they?
Belizean immigrants, yep.
Okay, so was there a different culture shock for you when you realized my parents aren't from this country? What was that like for you growing up? Were there different customs that you had to, you know, see growing up that were different from things that were going on out in the streets, or were you raised just like any other? I know you're black, but it is different because you're foreign.
Right.
So were you raised like just any other African American kid from LA?
Yeah, basically. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like you know, shit. Like I had, you know, the values of my grandfather, my uncle, you know what I'm saying, my aunties, my mom, you know what I mean? But, you know, when you step out in the streets, it's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
You're not, you know, like this ain't Belize, so it's like I'm stepping into America, the ways of America. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. I just got a perfect balance, you know what I'm saying? Like in the house, it was good. My mom took care of me. She did as much as she could. And then when I got to the streets, it was just like I'm surrounded by my peers. So it was like, what we on? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? We about to go terrorize the park. We about to go hop the wall. We about to go beat some niggas up. Like, you know what I mean? Just be bad. You feel me? Little rascals.
What made you want to be bad? Like, what do you think it was?
It's the foster home.
but you weren't in it, nigga.
It don't
You
matter.
had a
But
family.
you know what I'm saying? Look, when you get a pack of motherfuckers together, it's the same thing. It's just like being from a gang. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever y'all own, whatever we own, that's what we doing. We kids. You feel me?
So
it was an impressionable age.
Okay, let me ask you this. How was it for you financially growing up in the home?
I mean, my mom, you know, lived a middle class life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She was able to take care of things. I wasn't like poor on the streets and, you know, none of that type of shit. You feel me? And, you know, if it ever got to that like type of living, I would go move, you know, with my aunties. And, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
You had places you could go.
Yeah.
If things took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Initially. So what do you think it was for you growing up? Because I grew up kind of middle class too, and I have like similar story to you. Like I grew up middle class. I grew up in the suburbs, but I always wanted to be around the niggas.
Right.
I always wanted to be in the hood. I always wanted to be around hood shit.
Yeah, definitely.
I always wanted to be hanging off the chandelier, and I never understood why do you think it is for kids that grew up around something different that we want to branch out and do something outside of our comfort zone? For you growing up with your family, and you know these kids don't have their own family, how did you relate to them? I just want to know. Not saying you couldn't relate to them, but what was it for you at such a young, because some kids are mean, you know what I mean? So what was it for you at such a young age that made you feel like you felt accepted over there with the kids on the corner in the foster home?
I mean, I think that's what it is, just being accepted. You feel me?
They fucked with you for who you were.
You know what I'm saying? They was always like, that's coolie.
Right.
Like, I don't know what it was. I guess it's just my DNA. You know what I'm saying? How I'm coded. But I just got accepted everywhere.
So you never had any problems growing up for being different or being from a different...
Hell no. I was welcomed with open arms by everybody. Everybody was just like, that's coolie. Like, something special about this nigga.
People just accepted you for being yourself.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what it is. So when did you start becoming into who you were, though, and living in your own truth? Was there a point where you wanted to kind of try to be? Did you ever try to gangbang at any point on some like,
no,
I want to try to
actually
be cool type shit? Or
I just did a lot of, I did a lot of shit that gangbangers did. You feel me?
Right.
Because I was just raised around it. I hustled. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to incriminate myself.
Right.
Even though it's the past, you feel me? Like
you done what you done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And as far as growing up, was there ever a time where you were getting, I know you said you were bad, was there ever a time where you were getting in trouble and you were getting incarcerated, going to jail? When did you, if you did start going to jail? I have to ask that on here. Every nigga done went to jail.
No, for sure. Yeah,
So,
I mean, I feel like, going to jail in LA is just like a rite of passage.
Exactly. And in Bakersfield, too. Listen, I need you to know, it's our city, too.
No, for sure. At this point, that's pretty much the rite of passage for any male in California. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
For
that's,
real.
Playing the streets or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I caught my first case as a kid when I was 13. I think I got caught with like some weed or something.
Okay.
And, I went to East Lake, went to court in East Lake and shit, and I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? And from there, it was just a gap, right? Mm-hmm. And so, moving into high school days, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when I really, like, became a graffiti crew. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I really, really just started getting in trouble, you know what I mean? And ditching school every day. Like, I'll show up to school and just be like, okay, I'm going to go to school. And then I see the homie standing in front of school early in the morning.
Look my
and I'm
face.
just like, fuck.
Now y'all niggas don't want to go.
Yeah,
y'all ain't
you know what I'm saying? So now I'm just like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to ditch today and I'm going to go back tomorrow. You know what I mean? Then I show up tomorrow and then niggas be like, what we smoking? We smoking? Whoa. And I was like, fuck, all right, I'm going to miss this week and I'm going to start back next
Wait,
week.
not the whole week.
Yeah. Because, like, once you fuck up, you feel me? You go to the homeroom, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So then it turned into a month. And then it turned into, like, fuck it. I'm going to try back next year. You know what I'm saying? And then I just completely said, fuck school. You know what I mean? I left school, like, in 9th grade.
You dropped out in 9th grade? You never went back?
Never went back.
Did you get your GED?
Nope. I tried, but I was like, man, fuck this shit. This shit just ain't me. But, I mean, that taught me something because, as I got older, it really told me a lot about who I was. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like, the school system just wasn't for me. You feel me? And I was more so of a creative as opposed to being
outside of a book smart.
Being an academic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always inquisitive, always questioned, always did research. Like, that was just something that was naturally in me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was just like, I'm going to take on full-fledged creativity. You know what I'm saying? It just really spoke to me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
You picked up being a creative pretty young.
Yeah.
So when was it that you really started, like, knowing, okay, I want to tag, I want to do art, I want to do something? What was it that you did first? Was the first artistic thing you did before you started tagging? And what age was it?
It was super young. You know what I'm saying? It was like elementary, like the early stage of elementary. Just doodling. Doing, being shit that you probably couldn't even understand. You know what I'm saying? Like a adult couldn't understand what a kid was doing. You know what I mean? But just writing on shit. You know what I mean? I still got some of them drawings up until this day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But fast forward to about middle school. You know what I mean? I got accepted to a gifted magnet program, and I was being bused to East LA. Mm-hmm. I went to school in East LA, a middle school called El Sereno. Mm-hmm. And on that bus, there was a bunch of high school kids on there. Mm-hmm. So it was middle school, half of the bus was middle school, half of the bus was high school. Mm-hmm. And there was this one white boy on the back of the bus. Mm-hmm. He was a tagger. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So, me being naturally creative, and, just watching that other element of creativity, I don't know, it just sparked something in my mind. You know what I'm saying? This nigga always used to write on the back of the bus, fucking up all the bus seats. You know what I'm saying?
The time. Just
all
always.
the time. Every time we got on the bus.
Writing.
Yeah, the bus driver was like, who the fuck is writing on the back of my bus? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I used to just always look at this nigga like.
But was he good?
He was good. He was good.
Okay.
He was from a big ass tagging crew. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then, just having, the people in my neighborhood that was taggers. Oh, and I used to go visit one of my mom's friends when I was younger. And I would go with my mom to her friend's house, and her nephew. This nigga whole room was blasted. I'm talking about the TV, the fucking dresser, the mirrors on the wall, the walls in the house. Everything was just tagged up, and that shit, I just got a fascination out of that shit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It was then that you became fascinated with it.
Yeah, it was more so middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what okay, so you knew you was fascinated. What did you do next after that?
By the time I got to high school, you know what I'm saying, the first thing I walk on campus, you know what I mean, I get to just tag in high school. I was what they call a oneer. So basically, you're not from a crew, you just do graffiti. You know what I'm saying? You doing shit on your own, you mobbing, boom, boom, boom. So I'm writing on the school, you know what I'm saying? I end up running to this black cat. I thought he was Mexican, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, where you from?" And I'm just like, I ain't from nowhere, you know what I mean? I'm a oneer. And he was like, "Oh shit, come fuck with me," you know what I'm saying? So I go fuck with him, and he was a part of a crew called FA, which is Fifth Ave and Pico. And you know, they had a whole crew, you know what I'm saying? I became a part of the crew, and I was, you know, doing my thing, fucking with them. And after that, you know, when I was going to go visit my cousins over in the 30s, it was some black taggers over there at that time. Okay. You know, it's so many pieces to my story, you know what I mean? Like my cousin, so my older cousin, I got an older cousin. This nigga, you know what I'm saying, was like the pretty boy in the hood, dark skin, long hair, had all the females, you know what I'm saying, type shit. So I used to kick it with this nigga a lot. You know what I'm saying? He ended up becoming from a crew called GTI, which is going totally insane, groove to impress. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, I used to always kick it with this nigga. I'm like, this nigga's getting all the girls. I need to kick it with this nigga. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up becoming from GTI. So this was like 94. That was like 94, 95. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm going to middle school. And then from there, it was just going into high school. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then becoming from Fifth Ave and shit. You know
so Fifth Ave is the tagging group?
Fifth Ave is a tagging crew.
Okay, so you became from that tagging crew.
Yeah.
We've never had a tagger on here.
Right.
Especially one that now does clothing. So tell us what it is that a tagging group consists of. What is it to be in a tagging group? What do you guys do? Why do y'all do it? We know that the main thing, and I know this because I'm an art major, because right here, y'all see that easel. I got my degree in studio art.
What school is that?
Cal State Bakersfield. Okay. Cal State University of Bakersfield. Word. And then Trinidad's on that side. Word. But yeah, so like we knew the one thing that made taggers special, we learned in school, was the places that you guys tag. Yeah. The freeways.
Those are called landmarks.
Yeah, that's what makes you guys prestigious. Now, but being from a tagging crew, what does that consist of? If you can talk about it.
You said the main part of it though, right? So it's just really catching these landmarks, you know what I'm saying? Right. KRS-One got a song called Graffiti, and in the song he says, "I'm writing my name in graffiti on the wall." And it's basically just going out for fame. You know what I'm saying? Getting your name in places that a motherfucker would never think you could get it in. Right. So you driving down the freeway, you see your shit on the back of a freeway board or whatever the case may be. Niggas be like, how the fuck did you do that?
Can you tell us a secret of how y'all got on the freeway? Listen, the ones that be under the bridge though. Yeah. How the fuck do they get right there?
I honestly don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know niggas is daredevils though.
Did you? Let me ask you.
I never got to that point.
You never went. Nah. You never tagged no freeways or no crazy shit.
I was more of a bus mobber because when I stayed in Koreatown, Mid City, I went to LA High. And I used to catch the bus, you know what I'm saying, from down Olympic, from Normandy to Rempar, wherever LA High is, right? So I was just on the bus all the time, and, you know, all the homies, every stop, you know what I'm saying, by the time we got to Crenshaw, all the homies would be on the bus. And niggas just fuck the whole bus up.
Just because?
By the time
right. You know, now, what is being tagged?
My name.
Okay. Your tagging name? Yeah. Okay, got you.
Was
there ever a time where you felt like that was something dangerous, as bad as like robbing a house or something, to where you was going to go to jail? Was there ever a time where you felt like tagging was really a thing that the police was tripping on?
No, graffiti is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers, it's a felony. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is definitely doing time behind it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? They got artist named Chaka. His name was up across
so many probably
I
places.
gave this nigga like 5 years, I think.
Damn.
Yeah, he sat down.
Free him.
He sat down for. No, he out now.
Shout out to you. You could come sit here and tell your story.
Yeah, Chaka was like an infamous graffiti artist. You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how long did you do that?
Shit, I still do it now.
Okay, you're still part of you. So
more on the legal side though, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be risking.
You graffiti and brands and
shit.
shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You're putting it into the artwork. I understand what you meant by that. Before we get into the brand itself, we want to get a little bit of steps before that. Right. So, was it just tagging brand, or how was it that got you from that to this?
No, I ain't start the clothing brand until 2013. So in between that, you know what I mean?
Tell us everything.
I did music. Feel me?
Wow.
Like I mentioned, my stepfather was a keyboardist. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in a household with music. You feel me? So when I moved to Hawthorne, you know what I mean? Before I moved to Hawthorne, I left from, excuse me, Koreatown. My mom, she had real bad asthma, chronic asthma. She was about to die. You know what I'm saying? And so she sent me to go live with my auntie in Hawthorne. Okay. So that's when I started going to Lusinger. Now, I'm from a crew called NTS. Mm-hmm. NTS got two parts. You know what I'm saying? They got a South Central part and they got a South Bay part, which is where Hawthorne is. And when I went to Lusinger, I was kicking it with some Mexicans, and they was just like, "Oh, where you from?" Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh, I'm from NTS." It was like, you know, such and such. You know what I mean? They like, you know, soccer. That was his name. I was like, "Nah, I don't know nobody out here. I just moved out here." And I was like, "We're gonna introduce him to you because y'all from the same crew. Y'all just from different parts." So I ended up getting introduced to a cat named Soccer. You know what I'm saying? It was like, "You look just like this nigga. Like y'all gotta be brothers. Like y'all supposed to know each other." He was
Belizean too?
Nah, he was actually black and Filipino.
That's how it be though. Yeah. Niggas be looking like mixed up and be looking like each other.
He was, you know, we introduced ourselves to each other. We became instant friends. You know what I mean? And he had his own apartment. Nigga was young. He probably was like 21. Had his own apartment. You feel me? He was kicking with all the 11A gangsters. You know what I'm saying? They all came to this nigga building to record. You feel me?
Okay. And he was doing music.
He was doing music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He had his own little rig, however, you know what I mean, with the mic plugged into this and, you know, this with the speakers and like, you know, shit just made sense. You feel me? And then we ended up forming a group. It was me, him, and my boy Torch. He was from 11A Gangsters. And they was just making music every day. Making music every day. You feel me? Like the nigga literally stayed.
What was your rap name? Anything we can search?
Ray One. Ray One.
Yeah. Okay.
Gold fronts. Like a lot of the music, you know, this is before the internet era, so a lot of that shit wasn't nowhere that you can find it. And then we ended up losing all the music. All the music.
Damn, how? Like someone lost the desktop? I feel like it was on the desktop.
It was on. All right, they got these cassette tapes called DATs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You'll put this tape into a machine and hit play record and, you know, do your shit. You know what I'm saying? All those tapes got lost. You know what I'm saying? But niggas done did songs with hella people though. A lot of East Coast artists. You know, he got more of a track record than I do. You know what I mean? As a rapper. As a solo artist. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, as a group, like, we made an impact in Hawthorne.
What was the name of the group again?
Gold Fronts.
Gold Fronts.
Yeah.
And how, okay,
so
what age was this
Soccer, Ray No Name, and Torch.
Okay. Yeah. And what age was this for you?
This was like 18.
Okay, 18 to like what?
18. I'll say like a good. Let me see. So this was like early 2000, 99, 2000 to about. Fuck. I want to say like 2012 maybe.
Damn.
Yeah. It was. I was doing music for a long time.
Okay.
I was doing music. I started producing in 03.
And your rap name was Ray One.
Ray One. Yep.
Okay, Ray One.
Yep.
All right. Okay, cool. You start producing? So you start making beats?
I started making beats too.
How'd you get into that?
I still make beats to this day. All right, so another part to that is I got a cousin that was from the same tagging crew. I met this nigga later on in life. And me, him, and Soccer ended up starting a group called The Officials. in '05. So my cousin was making beats in his garage, and you know, being a creative, I just natural attraction. You feel me? Like, I need to learn this shit.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so you just always had a knack for wanting to learn
Yeah,
different crafts.
anything
you
creative,
could try to...
yeah, I'm on it. You feel me? Like, if it's speaking to me, I'm on it. You feel me? So I ended up, my auntie ended up buying me a laptop. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up going on YouTube and just downloading all this, you know, illegal download shit. You know, softwares and
LimeWire.
Yeah, all that. And I, you know, basically taught myself. You know what I'm saying? We had studios in Hollywood. I was still in the homies NPC. Niggas would be mad at me. You feel me? Like, nigga, where my shit at? Nigga, I took your shit because you just left it there. You feel me?
Right.
Took it to the crib and just self-taught. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you take the producing seriously, or was it like a hobby? Did you have any features? I mean, any producing songs that we would know of? Or you was just producing for yourself and the people around you?
I was producing for, all right, so me and my cousin Bent, we did 3 projects together. Like, you know, and that's kind of why I strayed away from it, you know what I'm saying? Because it really wasn't like serving. It wasn't really like doing what it was supposed to do. I wasn't getting paid, you know what I'm saying? I was giving a lot of time to it, you feel me? Enricher wasn't really an issue, you know what I'm saying, until like bills came in. And I really had to, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this shit ain't working. I gotta go where the money at.
Right.
Shit, you know what I'm saying? So
once you did the rapping and you did the producing and you did the music, was there any moments in there that you did anything that, like, you know, that kind of was life changing, or was that just a part in your life?
Yeah, it was just a part of my life. You know what I mean? Like, once I'm like passionate about some shit, like time, it just don't exist. You feel me? Like, I'm just on it. Like, fucking with it every day because it's just calling my name. You know
Gotcha.
What I mean? So yeah, that's all that was. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like, we had studios, you know what I mean? We did our shit, feel me? But nothing crazy came out of it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want to go back a little bit because I know earlier in the vlog you had mentioned that at 13 you went to jail.
I didn't go to jail. I just got arrested. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had to go to court and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? But
so did that follow you later in your life? Did you do any jail time later in your life? And let us know about that.
Yeah, I had a time period when I was going to jail damn near. It was like a revolving door. You know what I'm saying?
For what, though?
I thought it was cool.
Well, you don't have to say what it was for.
I can say what it is now because all the cases is expunged. But I was going to jail for guns. I was going to jail for drugs. I was going to jail for shit. So I kind of saw with a deadly weapon case. That was like the majority of my time. You know, shit, being Central, Twin Towers, Wayside.
So how long did you do at one time?
They gave me 120 days. I did like 2 months. You know what I'm saying, at Wayside.
Okay.
But just moving around, you know what I'm saying, moving around from the Men's Central to Wayside to Twin Towers.
So did you ever do like years at any time?
Hell
okay. So good. You never went to jail for like years.
Never been to the pen. Don't plan on going.
Okay.
Weapon case, that shit was serious. You know what I'm saying? It was very serious. You know. And a quick story on that. One of my boys had graduated. So I was working for this lady. Her husband has this brand called Bijan on Rodeo Drive.
Okay.
Maybe you might have seen the big yellow Rolls Royce out on Rodeo Drive before.
No, I've seen the Bugatti. There's a Bugatti that sits there, like a yellow and black Bugatti.
So I used to work for this lady. Her name was Tracy Murdoch, and she was a widow, not a widow, but you know, her ex-husband was the owner of this brand Bijan. So my neighbor, I used to work with him doing handiwork for her in Calabasas. This is before Calabasas was popping. And the last day I worked with her, she gave me a whole bunch of alcohol. She was like, I'm not gonna do nothing with this. It was like probably 15 bottles of wine, like damn near 100 pack of Coronas. You know what I'm saying? And I get off of work, I got all this alcohol, and all my niggas are sitting outside. You know what I'm saying? Some of the homies, one of the homies just graduated. So we outside getting fucked up, we getting drunk. And then it leads over to us going to Sam's strip club.
Okay, I know Sam's.
Yeah, so we all at Sam's and shit, you know what I'm saying? We show up to the club drunk as fuck. And they wouldn't let us in. So I go back to the valet. I'm like, shit, can I get my money back? You know what I'm saying? Because they not letting us in. Oh, we can't get your money back. I'll get your money back. And I threw a bottle at the valet booth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then they called the police?
I threw a bottle at the valet booth. Come to find out, after the fact, it hit a window and cut his whole head open.
Oh, damn.
And so my boy that I was with, he ended up getting questioned by the feds. He ended up snitching on me. And then I went on a run. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I went on a run. I left to Atlanta, came back, and I got caught. You know what I'm saying? They caught up with me. And so that's when I ended up doing the little time, you know what I'm saying? You know, Man Central, Wayside. I spent the majority of my time at Wayside, though, East Max.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. And what was it like for you in jail? Like then, how old were you when this happened?
Shit, that was like 07. Probably was about 25.
Okay. So you were pretty young.
Yeah.
You were pretty young still. And what was it like for you in jail? Was like it different? Give us a little background of that. You didn't spend too much time in there.
Yeah, I didn't spend too much time, but you know, a day in jail is like fucking a year. You know what I mean? Just going through all the processing, you know what I'm saying? Non-stop getting banged on, you know what I mean? I ain't really getting into any, you know, confrontations because I'm a non-affiliate. But, you know, like I said, I got welcomed with open arms. Like, you know, I told niggas what area I was from. Niggas was like, oh yeah, them your folks over there. Like, jail ain't as bad as you think it is, you feel me, for a person that's not a gang member. But when you're a gang member, it's a nightmare. It could be a nightmare for you.
Yeah, it can be a
you know
nightmare for you. It sure can.
Because, like, I've seen the real, you know what I'm saying? I've seen niggas turn face down. I've seen niggas get beat the fuck up and rolled out the dorm. I've seen all types of shit. Like, you know, as soon as you walk in, niggas is banging on you. So it's like, oh, where you from? Okay, I got some niggas that's your enemies, and you got to rack it up, you know what I'm saying, after count.
Right.
Type shit. So.
Did people ever want to start anything with you in there because of who you was cool with or anything?
Not at all. You know what I'm saying? I almost got into one incident, though, because, like I said, my cousin was from Mansfield. You know, one of the older homies that used to kick it on my block when I was a kid, you feel me, my older cousin's homeboy, he ended up falling in the dorm, you know what I'm saying, with me, and I seen him. It's like, oh, what's up? What were we talking? And you know, everybody got so I was in a dorm with all PDLs and Hoovers. And then there was some Blackstones in there. It was some neighborhood niggas in there. And there was some niggas from Watts up in there. And niggas just have their different time when they program. You feel me? And so when my cousin's older homie came in, he was just like, fuck y'all program.
Wait.
He was like, fuck y'all program. It was just
Where
like,
was
nigga.
He from? Oh, Mansfield.
Yeah, he from Mansfield.
Okay.
He OG from Mansfield. So he like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what these young niggas got going on. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, nigga, I'm about to go work out, nigga, you coming with me. And we worked out in the middle of some niggas from PDL's program.
Oh, wow.
And they was just looking at us crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And you was just there.
I had to. You know what I'm saying? I had no choice.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the older homie. Like, I'm not finna go against him over.
Right, exactly. And then you're in. Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Even as a non-affiliate, though, like,
because you know and see, this is what I be trying to explain to people in this world and outside of the interviews. As a non-affiliate, there's a way you have to move.
Yeah.
You have to know what to do, what not to do. If you know that you be out and about with this person, you shouldn't be with that person, even if you do not gangbang. Because what did you do? You affiliated yourself.
Yeah, you guilty by association.
Let's talk a little bit about non-affiliates since it's brought up. What do you feel like they do wrong in this generation with the non-affiliates in the rap music and the politics and everything of LA? Because LA has a lot of gang politics in the music, and non-affiliates are making the shit worse because they mingle in between the two. So what do you think is the issue with that? Give us shed a little light on that.
I mean, I don't want to go too deep into it, but just really just playing both sides. You know what I'm saying? Straddling the fence. You know what I mean? And just doing shit you ain't supposed to do, like, you know, a nigga get with one crew and be claiming that, you know what I mean, and then getting with the other crew and be claiming that, and just, you know, throwing themselves in a little situation that, eventually get them fucked off. You know what I'm saying?
What do you feel about the people that make music with gang members out here and then go make music with their ops, but then say they're a non-affiliate? How do you think that works for you? Because you're a non-affiliate.
Right.
So you will give a sweater if you want to a Crip, and you might also give a sweater to an opposite blood of that same Crip.
Definitely.
What do you feel like is the crossing line point for a person to do? What do you feel like is the crossing line for you? Where do you draw the line with that, and where do you think a person should draw the line?
I don't choose sides, you know what I'm saying? I'm more mature at this age, so I don't give, you know what I mean? I don't associate myself with like, okay, say for instance, there's a blood rapper. I'm not finna go over there and be kicking it with, you know, I'll kick it with him, you know what I'm saying, on business.
Right, on business. I know what you mean.
But it's not finna be like, I'm gonna be over there chilling. I'm
his baby's birthday.
I'm about to throw a red rag on, and I'm about to do all that, and you know what I mean? And be all in the pictures and throwing up gang signs. Like, a lot of niggas get theyself, you know, fucked off like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Then I'm not finna go to their rival and go do the, you know, the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So I'll just keep my shit professional. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I feel like if a gangbanger could wear Gucci, and then his enemy could wear Gucci, it's gonna be the same difference with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not. It's unbiased. It ain't really like, you know.
Right.
Choosing sides. I don't play sides.
And I think that that's good. But where do you think that people, like other people outside of you, should draw the line? Where do you think the line should be drawn?
Like I said, just keeping it professional.
Okay. Yeah.
Go in there, handle business, and get out.
Don't
be
extras.
lingering and you know, getting caught up in their politics and you know, doing all the extra shit. That's what, you know, that's you showing your alliance at that point.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you. I wanted to get your opinion on that because you are a non-affiliate, but you're also an older, more mature one.
I think it's more about, you know what I'm saying, how you was raised. You feel me? Like, it's certain niggas that could get away with it, and you know, it's an anomaly. It's an anomaly situation.
Right.
The majority ain't gonna get away with it because where their mindset is at. So you got like a nigga like Nipsey. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
Like, he was a perfect example of an anomaly. He can go to fuck with YG. He can go to the Grapes. He can go to, you know, even fuck with his enemies. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a special situation. Because his mindset is different. You feel me? Even with G Perico. You know what I'm saying? If you look at G Perico, he can move around.
Shout out to my nigga G Perico.
Yeah, I fuck with G. I fuck with G. You know what I'm saying? But he can
You're
move
right
around.
about that.
He's one of those special situations. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, they not mature. You know what I'm saying? They're not mature. Their mindset ain't there. You know what I'm saying? They not putting bullshit to the side. You feel me? They're not. And he's still talking shit though.
Right.
Nipsey still talking shit.
And it's still respected for talking it. You know what I mean? And still respect the opposites talking theirs as well. For sure. But it's a certain way you talk about the energy. That's why
I connect with, you know, Nipsey music. That's why I connect with, you know, G music, because I see, you know, how they shit just, it's transparent. You feel me? Like, niggas is accepted, you feel me, by some of their worst enemies. You know what I'm saying? But they still get away with talking their shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the brand. You feel me? Like, I still put clothes on, you know, niggas that's worse enemies, and I see that shit, but my shit is more about unification and bringing people together. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I do my thing. You know what I mean? People do it with music, people do it with fashion. You know what I'm saying? I'm bridging the gap. I'm fusing. Man, the amount of shit that I've seen out here, bro, like,
some people should still be alive.
Like, I'm for sure I got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen niggas get their heads blown off. I've seen niggas get shot. I got shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Shit really needs to change. You know what I'm saying? Because as niggas get older, you feel me? Then they start realizing it. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take for you to get older in order for you to realize that somebody's mom done lost their child. You feel me? Brought a child into this world, losing kids. Like, that shit is not the business.
Yeah.
Zero.
It's not.
And you know what I'm saying? I got kids too. You feel me? I wouldn't want to lose my life behind some bullshit, and for my kids not to have a father. You know what I'm saying? So, nah. It's not the business.
Right. I do get to that point to where it's like something's got to give.
Nah, for sure.
Because I've done buried too many. I've done buried 4 people I've interviewed already on my channel.
That's crazy.
And it's like these are people that I've met and known from the interviews. Minus Draco. I met Draco. Me and Draco were friends, rest in peace. Yeah. Before I interviewed Draco. But outside of Draco, everybody else, you know, long live Slow B, long live Key Riches, long live Infant. Damn. You know, long live Draco. Yeah. These are people I've interviewed that passed away.
I was actually there when Draco got killed. I was at the event. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Shoreline Mafia come off stage, and he was supposed to go up after them. Or OGZ, matter of fact. OGZ got off stage, and he was supposed to go off. And the bird was in the air, and niggas was just like, what the bird is doing over here? You feel me? And they had to shut the whole event down.
What's the bird?
They got a bird.
Look.
Helicopter.
Oh, the wow. Look. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. And that shit was unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen Drake in Hollywood the day he was he took the picture with Draco. I seen Draco the day he took the picture with Drake. He was outside, and I was like, bro, I got to get you some hats. He was like, yeah, get them to me. You know what I'm saying? However you going to get them to me. Feel me? And that was the last time I seen him.
You say you got a Nipsey story?
Yeah, I got a Nipsey story. So,
you met Nipsey?
I never, well, it's weird. You feel me? So I got involved in street team promotion when I moved to Hawthorne. You know what I'm saying? I was working for mad record labels, you know what I'm saying? Just doing just promotion. You know what I'm saying? We was going to clubs, we was going to concerts, we was going to conventions, doing all that. Fast forward, one of my boys, he from Grape, you know what I'm saying? He was doing the promotion with me. He was connected with a cat named Big Kaz from the 60s. And Big Kaz was either managing or working with Nipsey, like Bullets Got No Names days. So my boy ended up taking on the promotional project for Nipsey's Bullet Got No Names. This is when he first was getting his buzz before he locked in with Steve Lobel. And we went to go meet Nipsey in the parking lot. And my boy got out the car. I stayed in the car, but my boy always told me, he was like, you and Nipsey was having like a stare-off or some shit. I don't remember it. You feel me? I don't remember it. You feel me? But fast forward, and you know what I'm saying, we're going to get into the clothing brand shit, but I got shot in 2009. You feel me? I was outside of a party, outside of a liquor store. And a car drove by, shot up like 9 times. You feel me? Like damn near point blank range. And I got hit once. You know what I'm saying? So like right after I got shot, I ended up going to school for graphic design. Like fuck it, I gotta turn my life around. You feel me? And they gonna end up dead out here. And right after I got out of school, my brother's soccer had a homeboy who was working for Crooks and Castles, like 2013. And was like, we looking for some designers, you know what I'm saying, to start this new company, TMC. So that was my reintroduction to meeting Nipsey.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we worked on, you know what I mean, I was working on designs for Nipsey probably for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to say that I created the TMC logo. You know what I'm saying? It was like pieces to it, you know what I'm saying, through his direction, through Nipsey's direction. But, you know what I mean, I played an instrumental role in the beginning stages of creating, you know,
the logo.
The logo for TMC. You know what I mean? But me and old boy had fell out, you feel me? I was, like I said, paying bills, trying to get money. So I was like, nigga, I'm doing all this work, and this shit ain't working out for me. Because I wasn't getting paid, so, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So with you now, with everything, how do you feel about that now? Do you wish you would have still did it?
Hell yeah.
Because he's dead. I don't think it's even a little bit because he's dead.
That.
Just because before he died,
I just never understood what TMC was about. I never understood who he was. You feel me? And then, you know what I mean? It wasn't even so much of the politics, because I'm not caught up in like gang politics like that. Like if you fuck with me, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? I just never understood who he was about, and then the dude that I was working with, I just wasn't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So it was more so business.
So he was getting paid though?
He wasn't getting paid.
Okay.
This was the very beginning stages.
So you just had to just thug it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is me fresh out of school, you know what I'm saying? I went to go work for two brothers.
Now, what age were you at this time?
09, shit, I probably was timeless. No,
no, like, you don't have to say
you know what?
the year.
I was 29, though. I was 29.
Okay.
It didn't really have too much to do with Nipsey, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was just, like, my mind was in a whole different place. I was going through a whole different situation. I was on child support.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my whole situation was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know, between me getting shot and, you know, being on child support, like, is what kind of led me to starting a clothing brand. You feel me?
Got you.
Because, you know, I was working these jobs, and, like, I'd get one check, and it'd be cool. And my second check would just be completely snatched. Like, I'm talking about working 2 weeks and $0 coming out of the check. So I was like, I got to figure this shit out. So, like, my second job that I got, yeah, I already knew what I was looking forward to. I knew that I was going to get that first check. So I was like, the second check is probably going to be Ghost. I'm going to take this check, and I'm about to invest into the clothing brand shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you know you wanted to call it Grind Until You Die?
No, I didn't.
When
it was
did you
initially
decide?
called Good Looking. You feel me? I ain't start grinding
I
till
like
you
Good
die
Looking.
Yeah, Good Looking, you know what I mean? It was just, it wasn't so much of an appearance. It was more like good looking. Like when you say good looking out, it was like on that type. You feel me? Grind Until You Die didn't start until like shit, a year and 7 months ago.
A year and 7 months ago?
Yeah.
Damn, you're already like super successful with it.
I mean, I wouldn't say successful, but you know what I mean? It's doing
But people wear it though.
Yeah,
It's
people fuck
out
with it.
like I
People fuck with
seen it on Zeus. Cause I watch Blueface.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Blueface.
Blueface. Yeah.
I pay my $5 for Zeus for activities. Even before they was on it, I was paying for Zeus.
Right.
You know, I get the original $5. Niggas got to pay $6 now. Y'all didn't have it back when I had it. But I seen it on there. I've seen different people in it. What was the beginning stages? Tell us how you came up with the name. How you came up with that whole entire everything.
I mean, good looking is just a street term. You know what I'm saying? If we're dealing with streetwear, you feel me? That's the closest thing I could have thought of at that time. That was associated with streetwear. So it's just like good looking, you know, this is the street's way of showing appreciation and you know, showing love and you know what I mean? And I went through that whole shit, man. I probably stopped like in 2016. It was just getting overwhelming. You feel me? Like in the beginning, you're gonna get support from your friends. You're gonna get support from your family. You're gonna get support from people you don't know here and there. But you know, I didn't really have no rule book to this shit. You feel me?
Didn't know what to do
I
and
didn't
what
know
not
what
to do.
Exactly. You feel me? I didn't know that I was supposed to keep on going and you know, later on down the line shit is gonna change and this and that. But, you know, my whole thing was quality. You know what I'm saying? I was just shooting after quality. Like anything that I was designing, I just made sure that it just looked dope. It was similar to something that was high fashion, something that already pre-existed, you know what I'm saying? That was just like, fit that look, you know, fit that aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I was basically shooting after.
So, you started off with it called Good Looking.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you decide you were going to call it Grind Until You Die?
So.
And what made you want to, you said it wasn't picking up as good looking?
Or yeah. It wasn't, I mean, you know, the logo I got on my neck is the original logo for Good Looking. Me, which is the GL. Okay. So it just wasn't registering. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't connecting with the people. You feel me? And you know that's a pointer to, you know, designers. Like when shit ain't working out for your brand, it's mainly in your design. You feel me? Like, and that's something that you got to pick. It wasn't relatable, more relatable. You get what I'm saying? Like I always had Grind Until You Die. And then the secondary acronym was God Uses Us Differently.
Oh, why not read it on your hat? I read it on the hat, y'all.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I always had those two meanings, but I just didn't know what the logo was going to look like. Right? Yeah, fast forward to like 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, like trucker hats was booming. So I was like,
yeah, they were.
I need to start making hats. You know what I'm saying? That was just like my sign. I just started seeing too many hats being pushed out. And I was like, I need to start making hats. You feel me? I ended up buying a hat press machine. And I sat on it for like a year. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. I just knew I needed to start making hats. And the pandemic hit. You know, at this time, I was going to the swap meet to get all my samples made. You know, through this dude named Jake. He was pretty much the main dude that was, you know, printing clothes. Like, I used to run into Desto Dub there all the time.
Shout out to Dub.
Shout out to Dub, man. Yeah, I was going to go get all my samples made. Every time somebody put an order in, I was just going to the swap meet, driving up to Slauson, you know what I'm saying, getting a shirt made, doing this and that. I would put out a design, and then people like, oh, yeah, I fuck with that. So, you know what I mean? I'll go take an order, go to the swap meet, get that made.
Got you. So you were doing it as individual at first.
Doing individual. Like, really just not, like I said, no playbook to this shit. Just people asking for it, I'm going to go do it. You know what I'm saying? Just putting that daily grind in. And then the pandemic hit. You feel me? So everything got shut down. I'm sitting here with this machine.
The sewing machine?
No, the heat press machine.
Okay, got you.
The hat press machine. So now I'm like, okay, I need to put this motherfucker to use. You feel me? I went to
now at first, pause. Were you making them at first, or were you having other people make them at first?
I mean, I was the only person that made them all the way up until now. I'm still making them.
Oh, so you make the hats?
I make every single hat that you see everybody wear.
And every shirt and every...
Well, the shirts, you know, all the other, you know, articles of clothing is different. But the hats, all the hats is made by me. Not one person ever touched the hat. Not a manufacturer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm a real craftsman. You know what I'm saying? I really get down and dirty with this shit. You know
Nigga,
what I'm
please.
Yeah.
I talk about some, I'm a real craftsman.
I am a craftsman, you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody make these hats the way I make them. Feel me? I don't even think a manufacturer can make these hats.
I believe you. I believe you.
I'm dead ass. If you look at a lot of, you know, hat press hats, you'll see the imprint in them. You'll see the hat press, the actual mark, the square that's in them. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah.
Yours, you can't see that on yours.
You can't see none of that. I really take time with my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you had the machine and you kept...
Yeah, so, you know, pandemic hit, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I went to go buy every hat colorway, you know what I'm saying? I just stumbled across this shit. And then I went to, this is a spot that sells all the vinyl. So I went and bought every color of vinyl. And now I'm just like in my little laboratory just going to work. You feel me? I'm like, fuck it, I'm about to boom these hats out. Boom, boom, boom. And then at the time I was watching Desto Dub a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because during the pandemic, he was just running the fashion shit.
He was.
So it was really like a fucking daily TV show just watching this nigga do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, we come from humble beginnings. He's at the swap meet, you know, getting shit made for Thug. You know what I'm saying? He's on Melrose, like, trapping it out. You feel me? Like, this nigga was really in his bag. You know what I'm saying? And so that following year, I was like, I'm about to get on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just a marker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he set the tone for L.A. and fashion. Like, niggas starting their brand. You feel me? And, like, during the pandemic, like, Melrose just got the booming. You feel me? I went out there one day. And I was just like, fuck it. I went and bought a table. I went and bought a chair. It was just me, the table, a chair, and these hats. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I just set up shop. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple cats out there that was like, oh yeah, we selling other people's brands. So I gave them like 10 hats. They put that on their table and the shit just started selling. So I was like, wait, hold up. This shit kind of moving. You get what I'm saying? Like this shit, okay, maybe this might be the market. Maybe I might be doing the right thing. And so when the hat sold out, I just kept on, you know, loading them up. And then I get out there, like they'll be on one section of Melrose and I'll be on a different section of Melrose. And hats was just selling. Niggas had bread, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just made that a regular thing for like the whole year, you know what I'm saying? Just promoting, selling hats, vending, doing pop-ups. Like, and you know, over a period of time, you stay consistent with that, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna get into the right hands of who it's supposed to.
Right.
It's gonna get on the right heads of the people that it's supposed to. You feel me? So, yeah.
What was some trials and tribulations you went through during this process?
Shit, trials and tribulations, man. I mean, really just doing this shit on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? From the emails to the printing to setting up at pop-ups to shit, opening the tent. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I might have to bring a tent out,
Mm-hmm.
set that up by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, shit, going to go meet high-profile artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? That's
No,
why.
it's not. People
You know?
don't seem to get that. Like, I meet niggas all the time. It's not easy meeting rappers and different niggas, and they have egos.
Yeah.
Not every nigga
getting
gonna
turned
be friendly.
down, though, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to build up. You got to build yourself up to a point where you can accept a no. And it's like,
no, for real.
Be like, I ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? I've ran across countless artists, you know what I'm saying? And I try to come to them as professional, as humble as possible. And this is like, I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I just got to take on the chin and keep on pushing. And I feel like that's what got me to where I'm at now with a lot of artists. Because when I approach them, I'm just like full-fledged, like don't give a fuck what they tell me. You know what I'm saying? If they tell me no, I'm going to come up with something else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, nigga, you going to take this hat? Nigga,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You going to put this shit on, take a picture. Like, I might get an interview out of you. Like,
right. So you do interviews as well?
I do interviews. I mean, most recently, I started a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, things kind of slowed down with the brand. I wouldn't say die down because I get new followers and new fans every day. But just something like, you know, just running this shit on your own, you know what I mean? And taking on every position. I can't do everything at once. You feel me? I got to answer all my emails. I got to deal with social media. I got to print. You know what I'm saying? I got to get out in the streets. I got to do everything A to Z. And so one thing I was lacking at was content, you know what I'm saying? Something that could tie into the brand and tell the story. You get what I'm saying? So now that, you know, I got a head start with, you know, getting hats on different artists and social media, you know, to a certain extent. Now I can actually do something that carry weight that's associated with the brand that's going to level up. You get what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. You said you started the brand how long? A year and a half ago?
I started Good Looking in 2013.
Okay, but you started Grind Till
I started Grinding Till You Die a year and 7 months ago.
Okay, a year and 7 months ago. All right.
June 2020.
Okay. So when did you hit that mainstream point? What was the first artist that wore it that let you hit that mainstream point?
Man, you know what? It wasn't even an artist. I would like to say it was Desto Dub.
He's the first person to wear it.
He was the first, like, because when I think of success, I think of, you know, the attention that it got and the money that I got from it. You know what I'm saying? Desto Dub is a good nigga. I'm going to tell you why. Because he don't have no ego. He's going to showcase other brands on his page and, you know, put other niggas on, right?
Absolutely.
So that's something that I picked up on. You feel me? And I saw that Desto Dub, you know, I'm literally trapping on Melrose. He got a store on Melrose. And I saw that he was down at this store. So I jumped on opportunity. You know what I'm saying? When they say preparation means opportunity, that's...
So you gave him a hat?
I gave him tons of hats. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like, nigga, promote this shit on your Instagram. He was like, bro, whatever you want to do, I'm going to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna put you on. You
He's a good nigga.
He's a good nigga,
did that
man.
for me, too.
Up until
Shout
this
out
day.
to Desto Dub.
I fuck with Dub, man.
I love you, Dub. You know
what I'm
you got a special place in my heart. That's an awful lot.
Dub posted the hat on his Instagram story, and fucking literally 5 minutes later, a nigga from Miami called me. I don't know how he got my number. You know
I don't know how he got my number.
I don't know how he got my number. This nigga, I was set up, all right, so on my setup, I was set up 50 hats on the table. The nigga bought every hat.
Damn. Where you put him? His boutique?
In his boutique in
Miami.
In Miami. Shout out to Sneaker Buyers. Niggas bought 50 hats.
Damn.
Off the rip. He was like, I want every hat that you got on that table right there. So I was like, damn, okay, this nigga Dub got power.
Yeah.
Feel me? Follow up on that, the nigga bought 45 hats after that. The nigga bought another 90 hats after that. He bought another 100 hats after that.
God damn.
You know
wow.
Just off of one, you know what I mean? That's how I understood how powerful social media was and, you know, the person that's behind it. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Dub is, he created his shit organically from the ground up. His story's on here too. You guys can go back and look at his interview. It's a year ago, but he tells
I gotta shout Dub
how he breaks it all down.
Like, man, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in Miami right now, and I got another store out there that carried too, and it was based off of that one
situation. From him. Shout out to Dub.
And that was a whole year ago. You feel me?
Yep.
And not only that, it was actually two. It was one a dude that was selling random shoes. That nigga bought like probably 200 hats from me. This other store, they still carrying the brand right now. You get what I'm saying? So
I got somebody
just off of that one situation
that has a boutique in Lancaster, the Drip Closet. Shout out to the Blood Cousins, the Drip Closet in Lancaster, California. I fuck with them. They've been on the channel. They good niggas, and they got like a little boutique shop of like Dub shit, all types of shit in there. You can get some shit over there to them too. So shout out to the Drip Closet over there.
Yeah, all boutiques that's watching this, tap in.
Yes, tap in. Because you know, one thing about me is I love the boutique merchandise. Spill Lotto, the Spill Lotto brand sponsors my interviews.
Okay.
So they always give me merchandise to give to my artists. I like that type of shit.
Yeah,
and I know people like it too because it's exclusive. Like, if you make one hat like that, but you got a bunch of other hats that say the same thing, but there's only one that looks like that, niggas gonna fuck with that.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's what makes those type of boutique brands that you guys are creating. You guys are giving us our own Gucci. Like, we are having our own brands of this generation. I love it. I love to see niggas in Dub shit. I love to see niggas in your shit. I love to see niggas in the Spill Lotto shit. And shout out to Scumbags too, because they've given me a lot of merchandise.
I think I know about Scumbags.
Yeah, I fuck with him. He's a good ass. And see when like other generations of brands are taking over the community, because
we run this shit.
Exclusive.
You know what I'm saying?
We really do.
We really run this shit.
Do.
We really got the power. You know what I'm saying? Like, high fashion has now stepped down into streetwear. So it's like, you know, they come for us. They come to us for reference.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
They do.
Like,
they do.
I'm pretty sure I've seen so many replications of the style of hats that I started. You know what I mean? That I've done. You know what I mean?
In different
brands. So I know. You know what I'm saying? Like we got this shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Dub's story is, like, inspirational. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ain't just come out of nowhere.
No.
Like, the nigga been grinding for a
long time. And he tells the whole story about how he used to take the bus to the swap meet to make 1 or 3 shirts to go on tour with Lil Pump to sleep on his floor to sell the shirts at his shit. That whole story is on here. So make sure you guys go check out Dub's interview.
Sure. He deserves everything he got.
He really does. And he's a good nigga too. And it's like, he's not one of those weirdo ass niggas. You know what I mean?
Nah,
that
he
let
really
the money or the shit change him. He didn't let it change him at all. When was it that you guys started hitting mainstream? Besides Dub, you said that was the first person that actually brought you money. But who was the first person that actually wore it on some promo shit besides him? That was kind of more mainstream. Let us know a few of the people that have worn the brand and where the brand has been this past year and where you want the brand to go these upcoming years.
I would say I would like to say Blueface that I can think of off the rip. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of different artists, they just naturally fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
So they'll put it on and they won't know you necessarily. You'll just catch it.
No, they would know it. Like, half of them would know it's me.
Okay.
And then there's other times where the hats just got around. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Filthy Rich.
Okay.
Out the Bay Area.
Okay.
Let me not forget about Filthy put on. You know, just different people that I reached out to through DMs. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I got a care package for you. And niggas just naturally fucked with it. They fucked with the message, fucked with the colorways. You know what I'm saying? Just,
Okay. All right.
Tory Lanez, even though he went through going through a situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, he naturally, you know, I was in Miami. I did Art Basel out there. And I went to his strip club and he was just there. And I was just like, you know, I just keep on running into these opportunities, you know what I mean, where I'm meeting these different artists, and I got these hats with me, and niggas is just like, yo, I'll just run up on them like, yo, I got something for you,
right?
Go get it,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I get it to them, and they just like, oh, I fuck with that, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with Currency, same thing with everybody.
So you were at Art Basel this past year?
Yeah, I did it 2 years in a row. I come from a background of street team promotion, man, so it's like everything that I'm doing right now is just implemented from what I learned throughout the years. You know what I'm saying?
Getting it organically out the streets. It was just literally the artist. The artist helped me, and I thank you guys all 95 interviews that I have on here, I thank every last one of you guys. The mainstream ones, the ones that aren't mainstream, the blue checks, the not blue checks, every nigga that sat on here, I thank y'all because y'all organically fucked with the vlog and y'all promoted it and y'all made sure your followers and your people out there knew about the interview. Yeah. And that's what I really like, fuck with that type of like organic energy. And that's why Free World Order is really based off of getting it out the mud. Like, it's my world. You guys are in my world. Right. These are the people that I'm able to be blessed with in my world, and I want to share that with the people out there. At the end of the day, we want to make sure we get the best organic interviews possible. For sure. Always. So, outside of that, let us know what the brand has out. The links to all your shit will be in the bio. All of, like, I know, do you have a main page?
No, it's just one page.
Okay,
it's
so then at the bottom, when you guys see the Grind Till You Die at the bottom, click that. Make sure you guys follow him on that page because he doesn't have his own personal page. So I'm going to put your Instagram at the bottom. Yeah. But make sure you guys click that because he doesn't have his own personal page. But let us know what the brand has out already. I know you guys have hats, sweaters.
Yeah, primarily we have hats, hoodies, T-shirts, bags, 10 different type of hat styles.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's just like my base.
Okay, the hats.
Yeah, the hats.
Gotcha.
But you know, hoodies, T-shirts. I'm like expanding into different articles, clothing.
Okay.
And yeah, the YouTube channel, Grind Until You Die, where we interview just different creatives, athletes.
Who's doing the interviews?
Me. I'm doing everything. What I'm doing is not really about money. I'm not even doing this shit for money. You know what I'm saying? It's really about shining a light on whoever I interview and letting them be seen in a positive light. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these people out here that just got bad raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's being spoken of through their music or, maybe it might have been showcased on social media, putting them in a bad light. I try to get them to talk about something motivational to inspire the up-and-coming people. You know what I'm saying? And just, that's pretty much it. I don't give a fuck how many views. I don't give a fuck if it's 10 views. That's 10 people that saw it.
So do you feel like you do that more now than
what?
The interviewing more now than the clothing brand?
It's everything is running concurrent.
Okay. So where do you think that you want to see the brand go in? Where do you think the brand's gonna go? And let us know what you have in the future for it.
Major retail chain. We pushing for major retail chain. You know what I'm saying? At this point, like, I can't do everything on my own. I'm definitely out here looking for a team. And if I got the machine behind me, it could take a lot more to load off of it. So yeah, I'm pushing for retail chain. You know what I mean? So like your PacSun, Zoomies,
gotcha.
Urban Outfitters,
different places.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And,
all right.
I want to get into the NFT metaverse space, and I'm working with a nonprofit. Shout out to Love My Neighbor Foundation, where we feed and clothe the homeless on Skid Row.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I've done that with TK. Like, well, not like through an organization, but we fed the homeless before.
So I do this every Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Every Thursday, from 12 to 2 p.m. Every Thursday on 7th and San Pedro on Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? We feed and clothe about maybe 50 people. Do you clothe them with your clothes? I have before. Okay. I have before, but people donate clothes. Food banks donate food. Okay. And we just get out there and do our shit for a couple hours, giving back to the community. Okay, maybe one day I'll come out there and do that. You for sure got to do it. I did like that one time that I fed the homeless. It was so fun out there with them. Yeah. They be wildin'. I love it. They be wildin' out. They be having tasers and shit for $10, y'all. $5. So don't buy from them because they be having shit. They do. That's funny. They do. Fuse philanthropy, hip hop, and fashion, and start putting on these festivals. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like fashion shows? Similar, but it's more of a benefit awareness concert to where I can donate the funds to the people that don't have working with, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Give them a real purpose behind what they doing, you know what I'm saying? And not let it be so much about, getting high and, causing violence. And like, killing niggas. Shit really needs to change because I could have lost my life, you know what I'm saying, when I got shot. Like, niggas literally shot at me like point blank range. And it didn't have anything to do with you. Hell no. They was innocent bystanders. Yeah, they was you. Yeah, okay. Wrong place at the wrong time. You feel me? And that easy, it wouldn't have been no grind until you die. You know what I'm saying? So. And what year was that again when you got shot? That was 2009. Yeah. When you was. I was graduating high school. Look, when you was graduating high school, Yeah. But, and you were how old? 29 at that point.
Okay. Yeah. Damn.
Yep.
I can only imagine being. I was 29 a couple years ago. I could only imagine being shot at 29. I've ran for my life though. Don't get it fucked up. More than once, but
yeah.
But you know when you're not expecting it, it's a real thing out there.
I would have never thought that at 29, 30 shit, I would have been getting shot at.
Where'd you get shot at?
In the stomach.
Damn. And were you okay? Like.
Yeah, that shit. When I woke up out the hospital, the doctors was like, "You was protected by angels," because typically when somebody gets shot where I got shot at, end up with a shit bag.
Okay.
And you would have ended up, one of your organs getting hit. That shit literally missed everything. I got shot at like 9-10 times. Only got hit once, and it missed everything. I literally hopped back up on my feet after I got shot.
Damn, you were blessed.
You know what I'm saying?
When God
and I had somebody with me standing right in front of me. They didn't get hit at all.
Oh, wow. Was that a reality check for you of any sort?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the turning point to when I became a graphic designer.
Got you.
Right after I got shot, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing the music shit for a little bit after that. And then I was like, I need to focus on what I'm really here for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Went to Trade Tech for 2 years and shit. Right after I got out of school, started a clothing brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you for doing the interview and giving us a background of your life. I mean, we really got real in depth in how you grew up and stuff, because if we just talked about how you made the brand, it'd be a 10-minute interview. Like, you know what I mean? We have to know who you are as a person.
No, for sure.
This is your first official interview, and what we do on Free World Order is we get organic stories of people's childhoods in the way that they grew up, and the city that they grew up in and how it built them to be who they were, a product and a reflection of where they grew up. So that's why we got your background on here and let everybody know what makes you who you are, why you're able to bounce from this place to this place, why your hats can go on this nigga and that nigga, and why you can be accepted everywhere in the world the way you are. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate you for doing that. But aside of that, I want you to, before we wrap the vlog up, I want you to give the people out there, the younger generation, an inspiration story to let them know how they can get to that next level.
Definitely follow your passion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got a purpose. Like I said, the second acronym to grind until you die is God uses us differently. So we all have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really just gotta search within. Don't search out. It's all within you. You know, the power lies within you. And really just staying consistent with that God-given talent. You know what I'm saying? Staying consistent. It's gonna be dark days. It's gonna be bright days. It's gonna go back to dark days. It's gonna go back to bright days. Like, it's a balance in life. You know what I'm saying? So, as long as you can understand that, and start pushing more and more every day to what you was put here for, eventually it's gonna work out for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything is gonna fall into place. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Because the energy, the same elements that exist within us exist within the universe. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time before all those things line up. You feel me? So, yeah.
All right. I agree with that 100%. So before we close out, let them know your Instagram. You have Twitter? Does the page have Twitter?
No, there's too many social medias for me to focus. Like, I got Instagram at Grind Until You Die. I'm on TikTok at Grind Until You Die. I'm on YouTube at Grind Until You Die. I got a Facebook, but you know what I mean, it's not that important. But yeah, primarily Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Okay. All the links for his information will be inside the bio. Any shout outs you want to give to anybody? Anything else you want to say before we sign off? And then I'm going to give my shout out. You know, the thing about shout outs, I don't like leaving people out. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to thank all the supporters, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who gave me an opportunity. And you know what I mean? Shit. That's it. Yeah. All my supporters, all the people that gave me an opportunity. Everybody that fuck with me. Keep on doing it. I'm going to keep on showing the love back. All right. And thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. It's been in March. Free World Order turns 3 years as far as the interviews go. I changed the name when I started the interview. Free World Order started about March 2 years ago. So this March it will be 3 years old. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. We've gained in that 3 years about 6
6,000 subscribers.
That's what's up.
6,000. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for the subscribers. It's hard on YouTube. I know I can gain Instagram followers with no problem. Right. But YouTube is hard.
It's a different monster.
It's hard. So thank you guys so much for staying subscribed. I know I started off with a whole different medium, and now we're doing the interviews. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for following. Supporting all the artists. I've been seeing a lot of you guys write me, what song is this? Who is this? This is why I'm doing this shit. So you guys can be a part of my world and get to know different people and different artists and different clothing brands. So make sure you guys tap in. Shout out to all my sponsors and everybody out there. Thank you guys so much.